I believe we peaked in the 90s. Come on, come on, come on, prove me wrong. Tuck your friendship bracelet back in your shell suit sleeve. Come on back in time with me.
Fitlicken, and hello, it's Fo. Welcome back to Project Zomboid. Our man Ramos has woken up nice and early, 6 on the dot. Gonna move some of this dried food off of our shelves. We'll save that just for canned goods. When we put stuff on our shelves, we can open up these curtains a bit. Pretty sure the zombies can't get through past the shelf. Yeah, just do some tidying up. Don't want everything 3 high with the boxes, because then you can't see the things behind them. Sort of get in our way a bit. Read our book for a little bit. Have a little smoke break. Go for some food. Yeah, I've got a few things that are going stale. There's sacks of things. Okay, and we'll just use the salad bowl. We can use up some of these stale ingredients. Let's try and use as much as we can. Don't want to get overweight, but we do want to eat as much of this food as we can before it goes bad. So yeah, we'll try and strike that balance. Almost finished our book. Keep reading. So just after 10 when we get it finished. Now we can get these last 2 levels of carpentry. See what we want for our first mod that we're going to put with the game. We can use the empty sacks to gather dirt if we're trying to make like a rooftop garden. Perhaps when the colder weather comes and we're worried about our plants, we can put a little roof over our garden. Go back out adventuring, creeping up on zombies before they can creep up on us. Take keys for the bigger buildings, just in case we need to get into any locked rooms. If you bump off a zombie and they have a key on them, it's always for the building that they're in. Certainly with this build. So we'll disassemble more metal items. Still want to work on our metalworking at the same time as our carpentry. Plenty of lockers that we can nab. That'll be good for our armory. A bunch of different kinds of containers for some visual variety. Keep our base looking as interesting as possible. They're quite heavy, so we can only take a couple without having to dump things back off in our vehicle. Once we've got all the ones we need, we can disassemble the rest. Propane allowing. Keep working on getting these metal sheets to secure our base a bit. Yeah, we'll just work our way through them. Sadly, the lockers don't have anything in them. No clothes or anything. Stuff that you would expect to find in lockers. But never mind. We've probably already got enough loot. Just need more materials, really. Yeah, base building materials are largely the focus now. places to check out. Let's keep working our way through. Try and eliminate all the zombies. Get enough materials to finish off our awesome base. We'd like to find some more barbecues to get some more propane tanks. Because we do have a finite supply. Get another water dispenser down. Still waiting on this rain that's going to fill up all our rain collector barrels. Sort us out for the long term. So we get our lockers placed in our armory. Sort out our generator. Keep the conditions sorted out with our scrap electronics. Do little repairs every time we come to fill it up. It's lasting us just fine. Perhaps around a whole day. There'll certainly be enough time for us to go adventuring anywhere we need to, but not necessarily enough time to go somewhere, spend overnight and get back in time. I'm going to read the next mechanics book. Not an essential skill. I don't think we'll be doing much mechanics. Not when we can just find another car. Our weight is starting to go down. That's a good thing because we are getting high up in the kilograms. Don't want to become overweight. Yeah, we'll keep making normal salads rather than a fruit salad since we have more vegetables than fruit. Use up as much of this stale stuff as possible. Good so far, we haven't lost anything major. Haven't neglected to check on our food and found a whole bunch of rotten stuff yet. So far so good. Come back to get some more. A second locker room in this community centre style place. Again, there's nothing in any of the lockers. Maybe take a couple more for our armory. But we're more interested in the metal sheets. Certainly until we've got heaps and heaps of guns and ammo and things. Do want enough containers to separate everything out. Gun with each of its ammo. If I can figure out which ammo goes with which gun. I'm certainly more of a melee combat specialist. I've used the shotgun plenty of times. Yeah, it can be quite dangerous. You lure in a lot of zombies. If you're going to go out shooting, you need to take a lot of ammunition for expecting a big onslaught of visitors that will appear from nowhere. Yeah, if you're firing off a shotgun, make sure you've got about 50 shells on you to see you through whatever might transpire. We can use the scrap metal for working on cars, mechanics and things. I'm sure it does have some use. Most of the things have a use when they're combined with other things. Like I'm sure we could use the broom and the mop as a weapon. Probably wouldn't last long before breaking. I'm sure we could. A lot of the time you're right-clicking things in the inventory and seeing extra options pop up when you have other things in your inventory that can combine. There's crafting things that you can do. There is a whole crafting menu with icons on the side, but I never ever use it. As I say, I just sort of stumble across things when the option appears. Didn't even take the sink. Disassemble it. Metal pipes can make a good weapon, but we don't need them to plumb in the sinks or anything like you think you might need to. So I don't think they're that important to take. But yeah, over time you discover things. What things are more useful than others, and how you can use the objects that you're gathering. Which things are pretty useless. They're just going to weigh you down. So head back to the school. More lockers to empty and then disassemble. Yeah, we could find some non-perishable food in lunch boxes or whatever. Cookies and things like that. Can find some clothing, computer games and earbuds and things to disassemble. Also find CDs. Don't tend to find VHSs, but certainly CDs. So yeah, we'll have a little look as we're throwing things out the lockers. So we're breaking them all down for their parts. Make sure that we're not going to get crept up on. Yeah, with the door busted down, they really could come from any direction. But keep your head in a swivel. And we'll check the lunch bags and school bags and things. Make sure they don't have anything in it that we would take. The desks themselves sometimes have chocolate and things in them. So it is worth checking for desks. Take another decent metal locker for the base. One of the bigger ones. Got a friendship bracelet, 2 friendship bracelets. It's just what we want. Yeah, unnecessary, but you know, fun. It's a shame you can't wear a whole bunch of them all up one arm. It would represent all the friends that you made in the apocalypse. They're not really aware that they're our friends, because they're now undead, but never mind. The friendship stands. Now I'm going to take this map and this extra flag. Okay, and just mix up the decoration in the base. Another matching locker, if we can pick it up without breaking it. The teachers' desks have things in them as well. You never find like cigarettes like you find in a office desk. Yeah, different furniture tends to have different kinds of loot in it. And sometimes in different locations, the same piece of furniture can have different loots in it. Sort of varying loot tables. You get used to it. The things you might find, things you're definitely not going to find. It can help you prioritize which locations you're going to. If you don't have such a grand plan of clearing out a vast area. Or if you're playing with 1 hour days and you feel like you're in a rush to do everything. You've got to prioritize things. You've got to know where you're likely to find weapons, where you're likely to find food and materials and stuff. I've played Riverside the last 10 attempts I've had at getting a decent way into the game. So I pretty much know the place now. Sort of the edges of the area that I plan to cover. Never made it to. There's some locations that I've perished in. I'd like to come back and conquer. Yeah, it's not a given that we're going to make it. All our disassembling has got us another level of metalworking. Yeah, we're getting our level up there. I'm sure it won't be too long after we finish carpentry. We'll get up that metalworking all the way to the top. Again, that's not necessarily the priority. We're not just trying to get the skills done. I did originally think that you'd be able to carry his adventure on into the next build. But sadly, that's not the case. So the skills he's going to have at the end of the playthrough are going to be just that. We'll see if we can't get a few of them finished, just in the course of what we're doing. Yeah, some of the skills will be more relevant depending on what you're doing, what kind of playthrough you're doing. Love that we've got up to a point now that our metal walls are looking really solid. No little gaps in them. I wouldn't go around all the ones that we've already done and tried to upgrade them. It's going to be a bit of a waste. Yeah, it certainly feels a little more secure now. Yeah, the higher levels that you are in your crafting skills, carpentry and things, and the better conditioned walls you're going to make. Should be less flimsy. Less open to zombie attack. So we'll read our book until 6. Stop for a ciggy break. He's hungry as well. We'll get another salad on the go. Give him some coffee. He's not tired yet, but can't hurt. Get him to eat some of this fresh stuff. Get a break from all salads. We'll pop down our metal lockers. And we're mixing up the different kinds of lockers that we've got, so that it feels put together. It's a bit more interesting. Get down our map, our flag. Decorate the place a bit more, give it some more character. We'll have a look at our mouse traps. Butcher any rodents that we get out of them. Add more chocolate as bait. Always keeps them coming back. Got an extra mousetrap now. Keep working on this nice line of traps out here. Mousetraps can be right next to the base. They don't have to be a certain distance away to work. But your other traps, yeah, you need to get them further away from where you're spending your time, so you're not spooking the animals that might go into them. Come back out for a drive in the evening, at least after the coffee. We're not going to get too tired too quickly, hopefully. And clear out some more Zeds. As always, we're going to dismantle any watches that we find. Take any good condition clothing if we feel it's relevant. Rip up anything that we don't want to keep. Keep getting that thread that we're going to need for all our tailoring. Make sure that we're able to toughen up our clothing. It's less likely to get got. Keep working on our foraging. If we can pick up chipped stones, they'll be good for making axes. The normal stones, you can make hammers with them. It's a lot easier to find just a normal hammer than it is to find an axe. get some winter clothing. Temperature hasn't really dropped yet, but I'm sure it will. Yeah, we spend some time down at the factory. Read for a little bit. It does start to get tired. Yeah, it's a bit different from just sitting at the base all the time. Why not? Try and pop some pills, take away the tiredness, just in case we need to get into combat. Yeah, fighting when tired is a bad idea. Takes a lot longer to dispatch a zombie. And that extra time that you're taking means that you're more likely to get snuck up on. It's not great. So you do want to keep the vitamins on you. You can perk yourself up should you start to get tired and there's still a chance of getting into some combat. I want to get all the decent stuff out of all these crates. We can take some of the crates themselves, we can disassemble some of them. Yeah, we'll try and get all this construction stuff. Paint will be good for once we figure out how to plaster. We can really decorate the base then. So yeah, we're nailing the vitamins, staving off the tiredness, so we can get more of this loot before we head back up the road. I think the sandbags and stuff, you can use them for defences of some sort. That's not something we're going to be interested in. Concrete powder. There must be a way to use it, but I've never figured that out. Not sure what we'd use it for, but we'll take it anyway. Would be good if we could sort of pour a concrete floor or something. I don't think we'll be doing that. Yeah, not quite sure. I know the plaster powder, you can use it to make plaster the walls before painting them. Not quite sure the mechanics, but sometimes it seems to offer the option, other times not. I think it's got something to do with the type of room, whether it's considered inside and whether you put down a floor and everything for it. Yeah, not quite sure. I'm going to move some of these crates to get in about. The inner crates, as it were. We can always take them back up the road for storage. Again, mixing up the different types of storage that we've got. Again, I don't want to put it up 3 high, so as we're approaching we can still see the other side of it. Don't want to obscure our layers. So we've got all the way till 10. Gonna give him his ciggy before bedtime. Can I get a double episode day? Double day episode. But he's up at 4. That's not much use. Yeah, that's super early. Still super dark. Suppose it'll give him time to read some more of his book. Yeah, as long as we've got a book to read. Still kill time while making progress. Make sure that our generator's still fine. Isn't in urgent need of getting topped up. Plonk ourselves down. Read more of the mechanics book. Yeah, if we finish the book, we might be able to watch more Car Zone. A cheap way of getting some XP without having to do any mindless disassembly and reassembly of cars. Gonna have a look through for our stale items. Start cooking things up. Get all these things cooked off. Again, we've got to watch with eating stale food. It's going to make us unhappy. Make him bored and a little bit sad. As long as we sort of heat it back up again, it certainly fares better when it's hot. It's got this red background to it. Yeah, it doesn't completely negate the negative effects of it. So now he's bored and a little sad. Yeah, it's an easy fix if we just read a comic book. I'll fix that. Gets rid of a little bit of anxiety as well, so he doesn't immediately need a ciggy. That's the easiest way of directly eating stale food. Yeah, much like with a salad bowl, we can put it in a cooking pot full of water to make a stew or a soup out of it. Another way of just processing the stale food, making it a bit more edible. Yeah, ciggy can also fix a little bit of our unhappiness. So if you wait until you're anxious and ready for a ciggy, that's probably the best time to be munching down on a stale piece of food. Yeah, we're getting there. Try and let as little of it go to waste as possible. Sort out our mouse traps. Pop up some more decoration. Eat our cold stale burger of unhappiness. If it's just unhappiness, we can fix it with a bit of fun food. Sort of have a look down these things, find something that reduces our unhappiness. Just eat a couple of candy items. That'll fix everything. Yeah, all of these things we can only use once, our candies and our comic books and stuff. So we will pick up more of those if we come across them. Come back to the warehouses. Dispatch some more Zeds that seem to have rolled in out of nowhere. At least they're bringing us more digital watches. Keep working on our electronics. Again, we'll take the keys off people in these bigger buildings, just in case we need to get through a door that's locked. Yeah, there'll hopefully be heaps and heaps of building materials here that we can use for our base. Certainly plenty of tools, but hopefully we'll find more boxes of nails and plaster powder, planks, that sort of thing. Metal sheets. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a decent haul out of here. That'll help us on our base building escapades. Duct tape, prime for fixing weapons as well. Yeah, the concrete powder, I don't think we're going to take all of that. If we can figure out how to use it and it's useful, then we can always come back and get more. Much like the screws, I don't think I've ever used the screws for anything. But when they're all boxed up, they don't take up much space, not adding much encumbrance. So we can take them and then see if we need them further down the line. As I say, you learn with your playthroughs which objects are more useful than others. Like paint, yeah, that's going to be very low priority. The chances of you needing the paint are next to nothing. But hey, if you survive long enough to make an awesome base, and you can figure out the plaster, then sure, you can paint your base awesome colours. Try and scoop up as much of this as we can. It's early in the day, plenty of time. Fill up our vehicle with all the useful stuff. Get back to base and try and find places for it all. Can always take a few more crates themselves. Find places for those. Yeah, just keep getting back to the vehicle every time we get overloaded. Dump off a bunch of stuff, then come back. Again, constantly checking around us. Make sure we're not getting crept up on. Certainly getting a decent amount of planks and stuff. Boxes of nails. Should be good on the carpentry front. What we could do would get in just as many metal sheets. So we're going to finish off the next layer of our base. There's plenty of paint as well. Again, we don't necessarily need that right now. It's more for later down the road. But if we take a stash back to base, and we've got some, see how much of it we would go use. Let's say it depends how successful we are with plastering things. As always, we can come back for it. Just got to remember where you saw things. Fire axe is pretty good. Wood axe is more useful, because really we'll be using the axes for chopping down trees. Fire axe is better for sort of zombie combat. It's not going to last as long if you're chopping down trees with it as a wood axe would. Same with the hand axes. Like, you can use them for chopping down trees, but they won't last as long. Better as a melee weapon. So we take all our stuff back, all our building materials, work on our roofing. Gonna separate this room out, secure our corridor. Let's create more layers. I'm going to make our safety railings around the edge of the roof so we don't fall off. And get our safety ropes, or escape ropes, over the side. We can use our walk to command to see which tiles are available to walk on. So we can dodge the pitfalls, not just end up a floor down in the base. Yeah, we're making decent progress. Pop down our antique oven. It's a pretty rare item. Good to find one of those. So we've got it popped into our little, what used to be the little bathroom behind the bedroom. Right, a nice small space that we can keep very warm. If you're making it into winter, you're going to want a house that has a fireplace or one of the antique ovens to keep yourself warm. A lot warmer inside than being outside the buildings anyway. But should it get so cold, might want to hole up in that little room with the fire burning, reading a book or something on the coldest days. You can also use the sledgehammer to pop a hole in the back of the bedroom to sort of extend it through into that room. Presumably it would heat that whole space. We can just use twigs and, I don't know, spare skill books and things for the fire. Same like the simpler barbecues. Can't find charcoal, but you can also use just twigs and things to get a fire started. Don't think the barbecue lets off all that much heat. Certainly not as much as the anti-coven would. And if you weren't able to get power to run a normal oven, anti-coven might be the way to go. If you were living in a cabin in the woods with no generator or anything. You can find them about in locations. They're sort of predestined to always appear in some locations. In other places they'll appear randomly. It's pretty rare to find them in these boxes. I have done it a couple of times. You will find one in storage somewhere, in a garage or a warehouse like this. Also getting propane torches. Usually have propane in them, but not that much. Yeah, it would be handy to find some big propane tanks as well. Yeah, boxes of nails, that's the first thing that's going to stop you in your big plans of building. Don't need to necessarily make metal layers. But it looks good and it feels secure. Just going to need to find the welder mask and propane torch and some propane to top yourself back up with. Yeah, you can make fencing as well. Never done that, but it is an option. I think I feel safer with solid walls. The zombies couldn't see through and see me. As I say, it's all about feeling safe, not necessarily being safe. Get some more metal sheets, that's what we want. Yeah, hopefully we can finish off the roof. And that next layer of walls around the base. So we can open up all our curtains and let all the light in to the main base itself. Just create another layer. Slowly expand out the way before we think about expanding up the way. Putting another floor on. I think we've probably got enough loot by now to justify an expansion. Yeah, slowly but surely. Expand, get enough room for all this stuff that we're nabbing. Can't resist a crowbar. Aye, a sucker for a crowbar, me. I need to have like a complete container full of crowbars, like 20, 30 crowbars before I even think about like, maybe I should check the condition. Oh, it's not perfect condition, maybe I can leave it, you know. Otherwise I'm taking that crowbar. Most reliable weapon in the game. Getting plenty of seeds as well. Don't need to be so sparing with waiting until our crops are seed bearing to keep things going indefinitely. When they're just ready to harvest before the seed bearing stage, you do get more XP. I think you maybe get a slightly higher yield as well of actual produce. Yeah, waiting until they're seed bearing is good for getting more seeds and keeping things going indefinitely. He is planning on surviving indefinitely. He doesn't know he's on a 100-day run. He's planning for years in the future. And at one point I thought he would be able to do it as well. Just carry on. So I didn't have it in my mind either to only get enough stuff to last 100 days. Oh, he was future-proofing. Making sure he's ready for anything. Just thinking about getting through the winter months and into next year and stuff. As long as we keep killing all the zomboids around so they can't creep any closer. Just keep pushing further and further out. I'll keep them going. maintaining his garden, building his base, exploring any places that he hasn't been to yet. Yeah, he's still got plenty of adventures to go on. So we're filling up these gaps in our roof. And using the walk to identify the missing parts of the roof that you would just fall through. Yeah, some of them are less obvious than others. You really do need to use that walk to command to see what's going on and how solid the roof tiles are. Yeah, we're getting there. He's getting pretty hungry. Cook up some more stale food. See how he gets on with it. Oysters, very fancy. Oh, he's a simple man, but in the apocalypse he's eating oysters. Yeah, only the best stuff that the rich people bought and he stole from their kitchen. Yeah, let's see if we've got another comic book. Read that, sort out our status effects. Get rid of these moodles. He's a bit tired. He's had a bit of an adventure, and he did wake up super early. So I can't be too mad about that. Look at all those metal sheets, look how far we got. Managed to get that whole corridor done. Popped in spaces for more windows. Again, you would think don't put windows in because then the zombies will get through. But I'd rather see them coming. Yeah, we'll rebait our traps. These traps haven't been very successful. Yeah, we've got plenty of fresh cabbages and things that we can pop down. Yeah, I've tried stale food, but they don't like it. They want only the best stuff, of course. So evening time, check the generator again, get it topped up, get it fixed up. Make sure it's not randomly going to die on us. All our precious food start defrosting. Yeah, it's another thing we have to be keeping on top of. Really don't want to lose all this precious food and have to resort to fishing or hunting or anything. Bar's looking good. It's coming together nicely. Just got to remember not to get a shock when you walk in and see figures in here and think the zombies have somehow got into the base. Yeah, he's getting bored, he's getting tired. We're getting him to push through with his mechanics book. We'll come back next time and pick up the adventure where we left off. Hopefully he can finish this book, get on to the next one. Sort out his boredom with watching something interesting. Thankfully his weight's still going down, so hopefully we'll go down to 83 tomorrow. Yeah, we want to be around about 80. Try and keep it maintained around there. So we're not at risk of becoming underweight or overweight, which will affect our combat. Yeah, we'll give him a good episode of TV. See how Albert's getting on, juggling his responsibilities and his love interest. Yeah, it's hard to balance all these things when you're still in school and trying to chase after a girl, and you've also got this super important job. Yeah, poor kid. He's really up against it. I would totally watch that if it was a real program. Yeah, a bit of entertainment. Cures his boredom. And we'll send him off to bed. We'll come back next time and pick up where we left off from. Until then, do take it easy. And I'll see you all in the next one.